It's like 20-minute ride, I guess.
There's a lot of good
I like
Korean
Orange
restaurants in
Yeah, a lot of Koreans and Chinese people there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you everyone for coming to this round table. As you know, I'm Amy Pak. I am the instructor for Korea Capstone Study Trip. It's also a class that they take, but in the class there is a 1-week study trip built into it so that we get to meet influential figures in Korea and have our project questions answered. Today we are here with Professor Yang Dil-song. His current position is a professor at Joseon University, but as we know, he's a formal member of the parliament. He himself is a lawyer. Mr. Song Young-gil is a lawyer and a public policy expert who has served in several senior government roles. He was a 3-term member of the National Assembly and previously served as a mayor of Incheon. Mr. Song later became the leader of the Democratic Party of Korea and has been active in discussions on diplomacy, economic cooperation, and Northeast Asian regional relations. He holds degrees in business administration from Yonsei University and Chinese language and literature from Korea National Open University. In addition to his political career, he has participated in academic activities, lectured internationally, and has been appointed as a distinguished professor at Joseon University. It is my great honor to have him with us today.
First of all, introduce my colleague and so CDC, my staff members. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, hello. My name is Jae-sek Choi. I usually just go by Jay. I used to work at Korean Assembly. This is my 5th year, but I don't belong to the Assembly anymore. I work for Mr. Song in pursuit of, to make a longer story short, we had a lot of incidents happened last year or the year before that, the martial law, right? Yeah, from that point on, I was like, me just sticking to the assembly, there's no point. I have to do something better. I can do more, and that's why I started to work for Mr. Song, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for coming.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
In English?
Absolutely. And you translate.
Yeah.
He's right here for you.
I'm sorry, but I lived in the United States in 2014. So I can speak English a little bit, but I want to speak accurately.
No problem.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna speak in Korea and
It's not
I think it's better. Okay. 네, 저는 갑자기 한국말로 하려니까. 네, 저는 지금 여러분과 같은 석사과정 마지막 학기를 다니면서 현재 대한민국의 집권 여당인 더불어민주당의 29세 이하 대학생과 대학원생을 대표하고 있는 전국 대학생위원장 공보원이라고 합니다.
He's also in the very last semester of his master's program. At the same time, he belongs to, and he actually works for the Democratic Party of Korea, and his current position in the party is the chair of
College Democrat.
Yeah.
The Daejeon College Democrat.
Okay, National College of
Then,
존경하는 송영길 대표님과 함께 이곳에서 여러분들을 만날 수 있게 돼서 너무 큰 영광이고 오늘은 정당인으로 왔지만 저 또한 제가 다녔던 경희대학교의 총학생회장도 했었고 학생과 대학 그리고 외국 글로벌한 분들과의 교류를 굉장히 즐깁니다. 당 차원에서도 다음 이후에 우리 대학 차원에서도 존스 홉킨스 대에 있는 여러분들과 앞으로도 많은 교류를 함께하길 희망합니다.
So he's also a president of his university, Kyunghee University, I believe. And
student organization.
Yes.
Student council.
Wow.
Today he's just here for as a participant, but in the future, like other people in this room, he would like to have deep connection with future leaders, international leaders, and it's an honor to be with you guys and Mr. Song tonight.
I'm very honored to meet you. Thank you.
Just as well.
각자 소개해보.
Hi, my name is Kang-sang Park. I'm a local councillor. I'm the host member of the Seoul Metropolitan Council. Honestly, I'm a graduate student as a part-time curriculum. This semester, I have to write a dissertation.
Good luck.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Next.
Hello, my name is Youngju Lee. Now, I'm serving as a government officer in Ministry of Ocean and Fisheries. And I obtained a doctorate degree in international law. So I'm really thankful for inviting me in this great seminar. And especially, I came from Busan right now.
Wow.
부담스러웠어? Excellent, very good.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Spend almost 4 hours to come here.
Wow. Thank you for being.
Thank you for
나 원효로도 너 소개해봐. It's my chip.
Alright, my name is Won Hyunho. Actually, Won is my family name, but when I speak in English, I go by Won. So it's easy to pronounce, you know. So actually, I graduated at Korea University. I studied history there, and I had my master's degree in law in the University of Wisconsin. Yeah, like him, and now I work for the member of Congress, Sung Young-gil, and I really admire him. It's my real pleasure to serve for him. And actually, when I was young, I admired to study in the Johns Hopkins. It's really famous for international relationships. Right? Actually, the reason why I started to work for him, and I started to respect him was he's really expert of the international relations and diplomacy in Korea. So maybe one day I can study here. I can study there.
Yes, you
can. Right. Thank you so
Very
much.
good. And why don't you start introduce yourself?
Thank you so much for having us here. It's an honor to meet you and all of you as well. I'm Naomi. I'm from India. I'm a second-year MAR student focusing in energy and finance. Last summer, I got the opportunity to work as a Bloomberg scholar for City of Los Angeles. Before joining SAIS, I briefly worked in B2G sector in India, wherein I was facilitating pre-bid engagements between international and Indian companies and Indian government institutions. It's a pleasure to be here.
LA 시상실에서 일했었어.
You good?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. It's very nice to meet you, to be here with all of you. Thank you, Professor. My name is Isabel Gouveia. I am originally from Connecticut in the United States. I studied at Elon University for my undergraduate in North Carolina and studied political science and journalism. So while at SAIS, I am focusing on security strategy and statecraft in the Middle East specifically. So most of my research focus is in the Middle East, which is why it's been a pleasure to focus on something different and choose Korea for this capstone. I also serve as a research assistant for a geopolitical risk firm in Washington, D.C. And I focus a lot on critical minerals, trade, energy infrastructure during my research there. And at SAIS, I also serve as the vice president for the Global Women in Leadership Club. And so we do a lot of women empowerment, trying to get women into both private and public sector jobs. And so hoping to continue that into my future endeavors after SAIS. But thank you all. Pleasure to meet you.
So good afternoon, and honored to be here. I'm Eleanor, and I'm also a second-year SAIS student. And my focus in SAIS is about energy, climate, and sustainability. And before coming to SAIS, I graduated from Zhejiang University in China, and I'm also from Hangzhou, China. And I actually majored in econ for my undergraduate study, but for my graduate study, I want to learn something new, so I shifted to the international relations focus area. And after my graduation in May, I will be working in a consulting firm in the Shanghai office. And in the future, I will maybe focus on some kind of EV sectors and also the sustainability trend and the ESG policies in China. And thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's my honor to meet with Professor Song and the future Korean leaders. So my name is Yang Hang Yuan, and I graduated from Boston University, double major in economic and international relations. And I'm the third year student in Tsinghua Hopkins dual degree program. And I'm an incoming PhD student in Tsinghua University for politics. So my focus area is international economic and politics.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Edward Ding. Thank you for having me here. It's a great pleasure to be here with future leaders and Professor Song. So I'm also a second year science student, master student, and then I did my undergraduate at the University of California, Irvine, majoring in international studies and computer engineering. And my previous internship and research interest focused on the trade, especially in the East Asia area. So after graduating from science, I will join a policy bank in China called the Export and Import Bank, which focusing on facilitating the trade finance for Chinese companies. So my position will be in the Department of International Cooperation. So hopefully in the future, I will have many more opportunities to come to Korea. Thank you.
Hi everybody, it's so nice to be here and thank you all for coming to speak with us today. My name is Kalia. I'm also a second year student at Johns Hopkins, and in my undergraduate, I did a triple degree in political science, anthropology, and international relations. And currently at SAIS, I'm focusing on governance, politics, and society. I also currently work at Center for Strategic International Studies, where I work on nuclear policy research.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for having us here. My name is Dylan Armstrong. I am also a second year master's student at Johns Hopkins studying international relations. My focus area is on international economics and finance, and especially with respect to China. And before coming to Johns Hopkins, I had gotten my bachelor's at the University of Oregon, studying double majoring in economics and finance. And then I'd gone to study abroad in Taiwan for a year, where I'd did research on Taiwan semiconductors and the geopolitics of the semiconductor global market.
All right, thank you. It's a great honor being here. My name is Ronald. I am originally from China. I did my undergrad at The Ohio State. I focused on econ. Hated it. That's why I switched over to IR. Right now I'm enjoying this very moment. Wonderful individuals and wonderful people. My focus area is Europe and Eurasia, but I have a deep understanding when it comes to Korean history, especially during Korean War, for Cold War, South Korea's democratization. I'm really into it. Right now I'm trying to pursue a PhD in history regarding Cold War, Sino-Soviet, US trilateral dynamics.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vidur. Thank you so much, Professor, and thank you, sir, for coming to meet with us. As I said, my name is Vidur. I'm from New Delhi, India. I am doing my, again, second year Masters in International Relations at SAIS with a focus on technology policy and security studies. Before SAIS, I was working for the Aspen Institute, looking at India, US, and India, Japan bilaterals. And I did my undergrad before that at Shiv Nadar University, SNU, in New Delhi, also in international relations. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Emma Hatch. I am from the US, the Midwest specifically. I did my undergrad in math and economics, and I worked for 5 years in market research for consumer product goods. And then decided to go back to school for international relations, and actually did a year in Korea teaching English before that. So really great to be back in Korea. I hope to do a lot more work with Korea-US relations in the future, and also focusing on security and strategy around dual-use technologies in my time at SAIS.
형식을 어떻게? 내가 얘기하고 Q&A하고 뭐에 대해서?
뭐든지 다 아신다고.
Hello everyone, I'm very proud. Very pleasure to be here with the very young generation. I really enjoy talking with the young generation. Already I have two children. The one, the 1991 was born, and my daughter in the 1995 was born, and my son. So looks like my children is I'm very I'm all welcome. Probably your first time in Korea. I hope you enjoy your staying here. As you know, the Korean history is very complicated. As you know, when I was at your age, we have no choice to just go overall opportunity to more exchange of the international community activity. When I was a high school student, my dream is to become diplomat. The reason why our country is divided now is the conflict country. It's the dangerous spot in the world. And our country divided to country, moreover to the military, the tension is very high, and the North Korean nuclear issue, or to very concentrate the military troops to near the DMZ, demilitarized zone, and North Korea and South Korea. Very concerned. If the World War III occurred, it's one of the possibility. So the Korean Peninsula. So when I was young, I'm really strong the mission. How can we reconcile our country, and how can we reunite our divided country? You know, already in 1989, the East Germany collapsed, and the Berlin is collapsed, destroyed. They are unified one country. And in 1991, the Soviet Union is collapsed and dismantled. Even the Cold War system is collapsed. Why we do not reconcile? It's very stupid. As a reason why I become politician. Before I became the politician, when I see your age, I was inevitably participate to student movement anti-military dictatorship. At the time, the John Do-hwan is have you ever heard the Gwangju massacre in the 1981? My hometown. And was the high school third grade, and it's the 1980 was to John Do-hwan is imposed martial law and to the crackdown and all they occupied and civilian movement and prosecute and political opponent, and Kim Dae-jung was arrested. And so we are very upset. Many Gwangju citizens was gathering. At the time I participated. And my friend was killed by shot by the martial army. And so strong the turning point, our generation, we cannot obliterate the strong memory of at the time, the cruel, the massacre by the martial army, and my sister and brother was killed, and so I was vividly, I remember, it's like a nightmare, ordeal, and so it's the strong motivation to participate anti-military dictatorship student movement. So the 1984, I was elected the chairman of the Students Association of Yonsei University. So I was strongly leading the student movement. So inevitably, I was wanted by the police, and I was arrested by the secret intelligence agency of the KCIA. I was in jail and tortured, and so the big suffer for a long time. And after release from prison, 1985, I going to Incheon, the very industrial city, and participate in the labor movement. And I was working in field and the furniture factory or to GM, the car motor corporation. At the time, it's a Daewoo car corporation. I was at the time the melding the workers. Many 3 years working in field area. So I consulting many workforce to the problems, the labor problem, and the injury from industrial field. So I need legal advice to compensate what they injured. So 1991, my turning point, and I prepared for judicial examination to become a lawyer. The lawyer is more practical aided to workforce. So before I study the judicial examination, preparing judicial examination, I have wanted to see the real situation of the social the countries. For example, I wanted to go to Soviet Union. So 1991, I have 1 month to go around Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and Poland, and Moscow, and St. Petersburg, and Estonia. The 1 month go around, so I vividly walking through the field of the collapsing the social system, the communist system. So I broke my illusion about very romantic imagination of the socialism. I broken the dreams. So at the time I decided to prepare the judicial examination, and the 2.5 years were concentrated to study, intensified my study, and the passing judicial examination, I become lawyer. About 3 years I practiced as a lawyer in my constituency in the Incheon metropolitan city, and so you introduced the third term, not third term, five-term congressman. 1 term is 4 years in Korea, the 5 term serving as a congressman, and after that I become the mayor of Incheon metropolitan city, and after that I become the president of Democratic Party. But as you know, 3 years ago, we were through very edgy. We were to defeat the presidential election. Very narrow gap, 0.73% we are defeated by opposition party leader Yoon Sung-yeol, very notorious person. But we are very narrow gap, 0.73. But as soon as announced of this result of the election, we have no objection, just we are to accept. The President Lee Jae-myung at the time, the candidate of President of Lee Jae-myung, also I was the President of the Democratic Party. We are ruling party, but we accept. But many the foreign correspondents in Seoul, they are very surprised compared to the United States. And they are stop to steal, stop to bid. They do not accept the result of election. They are strongly to demonstrate and also to occupy the Capitol Hill. It's very quite different. Where in Korea, the political system is more developed, and so we have no resistance, just accept the result. So we are transition power peacefully to Yoon Sung-yeol. But Yoon Sung-yeol is very the mad person. So at the time, and so they persecute and the political opponent, and so especially they are concentrating Lee Jae-myung and Song Yong-gil, and ex-president of the Democratic Party, and now incumbent the president of the Democratic Party, Lee Jae-myung. We are the leader of the Democratic Party. They are strongly to concentrate, they investigate, and so they are arrested, and so I was in jail, and they are indicted me, and so 3 years suffer from the political persecution. But finally, probably 1 month ago, I'm acquitted all the indictment, and so I'm at the innocent verdict, and so I'm set free, and I come back the political era. So I'm very happy to hear. It's not dependent, just I become the free man. So as my children's always to complain to me, why did you become the politician? You are a lawyer, your income is more higher than the politician, and you have to sacrifice your private life. You cannot spare more time your family, your son and the daughter. Why you became the politician? Many the opposition party criticize you, and they are attacking. it's not the present. They very complain. At the time, I replied to my children, your daddy have a strong mission. My mission is to reconcile our people and eliminate our country. The politician is more efficient way to achieve this goal. So the reason why I become politician. So I think if we unite our country, we lift up the legacy of Cold War system. Our country is to inevitably derive the cooperation between four strong countries surrounding the Korean Peninsula: China, Japan, United States, and Russia. So the reason why I study to four countries' language, or to more to deeply understand the philosophy of the China and the Japan and the Russia and the United States. And ceaselessly I am studying every day the Russian language, Chinese language, Japanese language, and English. So the building, the networking, the politician, for example, Vladimir Putin is my friend and Russian. And recently I translated the book. Can I show this book? And the Tulsi Gabbard, you know, have you ever heard it? Tulsi Gabbard? No? Tulsi Gabbard, DNI, the Director of National Intelligence. She was the member of House and the 4 terms in the Democratic Party. Her constituency is the Hawaii. The Hawaii and the Incheon city is the brother and the sister city, and the close relationship. So at the time, I first time met her when he was the member of House and the Democratic, and keep touch her. Her is very ambitious woman, and he running for the candidate of the president in Democratic caucus, and they compete with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And as you know, the Tulsi Gabbard is strongly support the direct talk with North Korean leader or the Putin, the Russian leader, also the Syria, the Assad, and her directly meet. But many conservative group and they are strongly criticized why they can keep touch with such kind of the dictator, and how can I justify such kind of the tyranny? But she is a strong conviction, the competition. He's strong. Think he is through the keep touch with talk with such kind of the leader is too efficient way to calm down military tension and the management of the risk of the nuclear war. Is to coincidentally they are to come up the consensus between Trump and Tulsi Gabbard. As you know, last second term presidential election, the leave the Democratic Party and through the celebrity city is to participate Donald Trump's election campaign. One is the Robert Kennedy Jr. and second is the Tulsi Gabbard. Is very famous in Democratic person, but they leave their party and they combine the election campaign of the Trump. And compensation, Trump become the second term president, he designate and the DNI and Tulsi Gabbard and Robert Jr. Kennedy is to the Minister of the Healthcare, probably. And she wrote the book as when I was in jail, about 329 days in jail. So at the time, very good opportunity to more the concentrate reading books on the writing. So I translated her book. It's like 하나 줘봐요. 내가
So this is a translated version of it.
민주당을 떠나면 그래서 it's Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard. I delivered this book to her. I heard she's very pleased, so I returned some gift for me. So it's my reason why I translated this book. I think that Trump is very opposed to my opinion, my perspective, political perspective. For example, the climate change, how can dealing the many the LGBTQ problem and the many minority ethnic group, many subject issues quite different, and Trump and I. But one point is I strongly support the Trump approach to his North Korean nuclear issue. I think that Mr. Obama became the elected president of the first Black American I'm very impressed and very pleased. So I participate in inaugural ceremony, 2008, very cold weather. I'm delegation of the Democratic Party and the Capitol Hill. Schroenberg and the very heavy cold, but I am waiting and Ryan and so participate very historical event. I strong expectation, but I'm very disappointed. His 8 years his presidency, as you know, so-called strategic the patience is the neglect and put aside the North Korea nuclear issue. Just there depends on the very conservative regime of Korea, Lee Myung-bak, Park Geun-hye, and the more they confront is more at the time more deteriorate the North Korea nuclear issue. They are developing more the nuclear arsenal. They are also provocation and launch even the ICBM, intercontinental bomb missiles they are launching. So 6 times to the nuclear test. Why? Very stupid. They just neglect. Just their economic sanction, but economic sanction is never surrender North Korea. North Korea, they get accustomed to cycle autarky. They do not depend on international trade. They can self-reliance the country. So strongly to so-called 주체 spirit is self-reliance spirit is very, very proud of they emphasize. So it's never surrender like this to sanction. And so like it's a very stupid person. So I very expect the bold approach of Mr. Trump, and as you know, 2018, the first historical summit conference between Kim Jong-un and Trump in Singapore. We are very big applaud. We expect, but 1 year later, 2019, the February in Hanoi, the second summit conference between the United States and Korea. But it's a bad time, as the John Bolton is strongly intervening to his blocking, and I very hate John Bolton and Hogish. When I in jail, I read his autography. Very proud of how can they achieve the stopping the small deal between. Very stupid. Also at the time, simultaneously in Congress in the United States, and hearing the committee is holding is James Cohen, the president lawyer of the hush money problem. And so Mr. Trump very nervous, and he cannot concentrate this North Korea, the deal, just only TV news, and so very upset, and so it's like very big, bad circumstance at the time. I'm very, very regrettable at the time. Probably also Mr. Trump was regretted at the time. Why did not at the time sign? It's very good opportunity. At the time, as you know, North Korea suggests if we lift the sanction, the poor three sanction, they can very thoroughly dismantle the Yongbyon nuclear facilities. Also, they participate export from nuclear issue in the United States and a very open mass media. Very, very, very precious opportunity. More to thoroughly investigate what's going on in the nuclear development in North Korea. Even they are some enriched uranium program practice they hide. We can understand, but inevitably they cannot trust. Even they, for example, Iran, the JCPOA, even they unilaterally they are all unanimously they support this. The JCPOA, but when the Trump become president, it's to nullification of the all agreement is no problem. So how can trust North Korea? Even like to Iran, the bombing, and 저기 라틴 아메리카 누구지 이거?
Venezuela.
And Venezuela, like this. More the North Korea leader, they more the strongly to the defense of nuclear weapons their country. They is to guarantee the security of their country. So now, how can we to seek the solution between North Korea and the United States? I can inevitably we are two part, and the Lee Jae-myung president is suggest so-called END. END means not pursue the CVID, certified and verifiable irreversible dismantle of nuclear facility is very hard. It's not. It's impossible. So for the time being, so we are departed two sides. E and EN is the exchange and the normalization of the between two countries, and the D as a dismantle of nuclear issue is to put aside the long future's goal. And for the time being, freezing is more important. Freezing, not deterioration is just the freezing. If we put aside, if they are more developing a so-called their ICBM technology is not verified. It's not successful or not, but expert the opinion is different. Some expert is already successfully experiment ICBM. They can orbit and come, but I don't know exactly. So it's freezing is more to pragmatic the approach of the. If at the next time, if normalization of diplomatic relations, United States and North Korea, at the time, North Korea nuclear is no more to immediate threat to United States security. If normalization, For example, my friend, China have a strong nuclear arsenal. Russia also nuclear, the second largest nuclear weapons country. We do not feeling the threat from China nuclear bomb missiles or Russia nuclear bombs. Reason why? South Korea, we have strategic partnership with China and Russia. Like this North Korea nuclear, why North Korea nuclear is a threat, imminent threat to South Korea, United States? Not normalization between the countries. It's more the diplomatic approach. The military option is very some limitation. It's not solving the problem. The missiles bomb will not spread the democracy, as you know. If Iran bombing and killing the leader of the Iran is not, I can replace when the pro-American regime is installed. It's very impossible, I think. I close my address. Rest one. When 1911 terrorist attack Twin Tower in the New York City, at the time when I met the United States politician, I strongly emphasized 9/11 the terrorist attack is not owing to mass destruction weapon. As you know, it's the civil airplane produced in your city and Chicago and Seattle, and the Boeing company, they produce civil airplane. And you trust God, you believe God, your God create a human being. It's a human being hatred is combined with the civil airplane, they are causing the 9/11, the terrorist attack and the very tragedy. It's not because of mass destruction weapon. It's the hatred of the human being and the frustration. When I've been to Baghdad, I met many victims, family and relatives of the United States bombing, and they called some the collateral damage. But as you know, recently they are bombing Iran, and 180 the girls, elementary girls, students was killed. It's very. How can we explain this phenomenon? It's a mistake, the collateral damage. But his relative and the parent and many, they strong the hatred. And how can solving this hatred? Is bomb? No, reconciliate and compromise. It's like the seed of the hatred is true origin of the such kind of terrorist attack. So why we are important is the diplomatic approach why I am very pleased, like all of you, is to more study international relationship, non-military. So I quote this sentence: "The era of the elegant hypocrisy is ended, and the era of the honest barbarism has arrived." There are no neglect of international law, UN chapter is no problem. 2003 Iraq War, at the time they needed some kind of the pretend of the UN resolution, but this time is no resolution, no, on the brunt, no height. Some very honest barbarianism is coming. So I am very supportive of Mr. Trump. Reason why 2003, at the time, George W. Bush's so-called preemptive strike policy, they are invading unilaterally to Iraq without the resolution of UN. At the time, Kofi Annan, the UN, the General Secretary of UN, at the time, very saddest day of the 2003, at the time, March 20. Just before 1 week, I was in Baghdad. I am strongly opposed to preemptive policy. Let me tell you some the very interesting episode. Just 1 week before, United States launching the Tomahawk missiles to Baghdad, I'm going to the in front of Baghdad University, like all of you, the young students gathering, they are very nervous and strained. So they saw the Asian, the politician coming, they are very curious and gathering, and children come here. so one student questioned to me. He said to me, George W. Bush never find the mass destruction weapon in Iraq. I asked him, reason why? Mass destruction weapons is located in my heart, he said. And touched my heart to hear what he said. And so I introduced him when I met the American politician. He's very young. The student's heart is more dangerous. It's hatred and frustration. So at the time, why I am supported Mr. Trump? Mr. Trump was strongly to oppose the Iraq war, stupid war, and criticize George W. Bush. And the reason why George W. Bush and Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney is not supported Trump, and they are very conflicted. But reason why and bombing Iran, the same mistakes. I can't understand that. That's tragedy. Question.
Feel free to start asking questions. You can ask him about his remark, and then if you have a chance, try to ask other questions as well. Anyone wants to start?
앉아서 네가 요약해서 말. Have a seat.
Eleanor wants to start.
You don't have to worry.
Just speak, it's fine. Yeah. So nice to see you, Professor Song. So my question will be very related to the current situation. You know, the breakout of the Iran war recently, and the United States has took the SAD from South Korea to the Middle East due to this war.
China, please. You can get the sausage.
Yeah, you know that I think the SAR launched in South Korea maybe in 2016 around, and China had really strong and massive retaliations in trade to South Korea due to this reason. And now United States has taken away the SAD from South Korea. So I think maybe for like middle power like South Korea, does it mean that there was like sacrifice between the two big nations, like competition in this part, and how do South Korea react to the two big powers?
Very complicated. And anyway, implement of South system in Korea, I'm strongly opposed. Reason why the South system is not protected from North Korea attacks. I think they detect and the potential China, the launching missiles to the United States and the early detect system. So China also don't criticize, but this time they evacuate and redeployment of the Southern system to Middle East is to verify, is not to protect from North Korea attacks, I think. But as you know, many complicated problems. To United States combat troops in the deployment in South Korea, about 28,000 American troops stay in South Korean Peninsula, but we do not supervise how many exact members to stay or not. They go and come. We cannot supervise. We cannot report it from. It's like it's very embarrassing situation. The South Korea, the United States Army in South Korea do not report to our Minister of Defense, our Korean government. Just they freely go out without no checking. We don't know exactly how our exact members to reside here. They have a freedom to moving the troops to and the Taiwan Strait or the Middle East. It's a big problem, I think. But the first stage, they are moving to the southern system in Korea to Middle East. The second, they strongly request the dispatching the vessels, the combat vessels to Hormuz Strait, and it's causing big problem. How can handling this problem? Our government is very considering very seriously the seek the solution. But even though very unstable the emotional situation is Mr. Trump, and so he probably to depart the NATO or the withdrawal of the American troops in Korea. I don't know exactly, but it's very cautious concern.
Thank you.
Wow,
Okay.
many hands.
Thank you so much for your remarks. I was just curious about your views on South Korea getting nuclear weapons, maybe with US's help to deter against North Korea, and also like nuclear energy as a form of energy security.
In our countries,
Yes.
nuclear energy
Yes.
security.
Yes.
If North Korea attack here,
Yes.
I think yes, vulnerable. We are 63 in nuclear reactor is working in Korean, very small the territory, but compare on the country very intensified and gathering to 26 the nuclear reactor is working. So if North Korea to attack the nuclear the plant, it's cause big casualty. So we're very concerned. Well, but I think if North Korea to attack the nuclear weapons or nuclear plant and is unstoppable the tragedy. So it means the suicide of the North Korea itself is I can very low possibility.
Mm-hmm. And like your views on South Korea getting nuclear weapons.
Our
한국 대한민국이 핵을 부정해서 미국과 행정을 세우고 북한에 대항을 할 수 있는
그렇죠. As you know, NPT system, the non-proliferation treaty is very unequal the international treaty, but it's a three pillar composed of this treaty. The number one is the nuclear weapons country cannot attack or threat on the non-nuclear state. Number one. Second is to they cooperate very peaceful use of the atomic energy and the Medicare of the humanitarian. The purpose of the using nuclear power is to cooperate. Third is to already nuclear weapons country. They every 5 years report what's going on. They should effort to reduce the nuclear arsenal. Finally, they are no nuclear world. They should endeavor to achieve this goal. But this three pillar is not keeping. So very already North Korea nuclear weapons country, they are privileged and say they every years they renovate and the more high quality of nuclear weapons. So already they are to start one is to expire that they do not also more dangerous system is to intermediate the missiles. Treaty is now the expire. Because Mr. Trump, they are condemned on China. China is not involving. Just Russia and United States through treaties, some limitation. Please, they participate. China is very inevitable. The condition they strongly suggest. We can anyway. They compromise the country against restricting the middle range of the international bombing missiles. ICBM 말고 그게 중간 그게 더 IBM이었나? 근데 중거리 미사일.
IBM.
IBM? It's more than because ICBM about if the China and Russia launching the ICBM from China and Russia territory, United States, it takes about 30 minutes. And it's some detecting and they are striking and the time is 30 minutes, but it's a short time anyway, but intermediate range about IRBM.
Intermediate range ballistic.
IRBM is more short time. It's impossible to detect and striking. It's not working, such kind of. It's caused big casualty, so it's more dangerous.
Any follow-up question or any question?
One more time, it's the more to reply. If Korea seek the self-armed nuclear weapons, is to many Korean people the very pro this policy about according to recent poll about 70% of South Korean people strongly support the nuclear armed country.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very contradiction. United States and Mr. Trump more to increase more to the burden of defense our South Korea. To Mr. Trump, many times they said they can defend the South Korea security. So South Korea and compensate to dispatching troops or more money, more investment, United States. But the humble opinion, many Korean people think without the United States Army, we can self-defense, the nuclear weapons, we can develop, we have ability to developing nuclear weapons, self-defense. If they are exemption of NPT, not economic sanction, we can. Without the United States Army, we can defend, we serve. Why you are prohibited to self-develop nuclear weapons, but just to give money is some contradict, I think, many people.
Any new question or follow-up? You can start and then go down. Okay?
So, as you know, Professor Song, China is planning to unify Taiwan. And I was just wondering what South Korea see the possibility for starting two war when China launched the war with Taiwan and North Korea, we go south. At the same time.
Same time.
Yeah. Because you see the North Korea supersonic missile, the ship, is same as Chinese Dongfeng 17. Same ship. And also the ICBM carriers import from China.
Many conservative group and conservative research and research institute of United States and Korea, they can imagine such kind of scenario, but I don't think so. In our Korea position and my position of the political perspective of handling the Taiwan Strait problem, status quo is more important, not deteriorate the situation. Writing the now incumbent president of the Taiwan is my friend. He was the mayor of Tainan city. I met him and keep touching. And the Rai Ching-de is belong to Minjin-dang, and the opposition very strongly pursue the independence of Taiwan. But I emphasize when I meet him is you pursue the independence of Taiwan is very stupid policy. Like the Zelensky wants to involve in the NATO, but it's to provoke the Russia. And it's not because of Putin. Any leader of the Russia, like Ekaterina, any Gorbachev and Elchin, any kind of leader of Russia, he cannot tolerate of such kind of situation. Is to Crimea Island, if NATO military base is installed at point, they can launch missiles is like the heart of Russia. The Moscow is only 15 minutes. They can attack the Moscow. Any leader of Russia cannot tolerate the situation. It's the same situation. If the Cuba and the Venezuela and the Florida and the China and the Russia military base installed at point, any kind of United States president cannot tolerate the situation. It's blockade of, like John F. Kennedy is 1962, blockade on Cuba Sea, East Coast nuclear war. They can, like this, we can understand if exchange the position. So, very stupid person. When I met the Ukraine, the leader of the politician, I strongly emphasized, why going to the Russia, going to the NATO? It's inevitably provocate of the invasion from Russia. For the time being, status quo is like to side you drive the cooperation from, you can participate EU, European Union is okay. But it's involving the participate the NATO members is very different problem. So for the time being, the state neutral position and using from the EU cooperation is derived some support and also to Russia and can the privilege and the cheap the gas and the oil they can import, and so it's more you are to developing your country is more important priority. And so why the stupid person like to the eastern area, the Donetsk and Donbass, Kherson, many about the 50% of the Russian speaking the people living there, but why you are prohibited using the Russian language is a stupid person. So inevitably they cause provocation, and so the east area of the Ukraine, they are to the rebellion to depart and divide the civil war, and they provide a clue to the involving the Russian army that internal conflict is very stupid, I think. Like this too, writing also, prototyping status quo, peaceful. I know the China, the policy to reunify the Taiwan is number one is the peaceful solution. But if Taiwan pursue the independence, cannot tolerate, cannot exclude the possibility of using military power. So it's like this very stupid. Just for the time being, is I think, in my humble opinion, China, if Taiwan not pursue the independence, but China using this opportunity, Russia-Ukraine war or the Iran war, they using the military more preemptive strike at Taiwan, I don't think so. It's China philosophy and the foreign policy. And Xi Jinping 주시의 타이완의 정책스, the Xi Jinping 주시의 저수에, 지소부위, 우시위란. 你知道吗？我知道。知道。我 strongly support this policy.
If something you don't want, you should help your colleagues in case you don't speak
Chinese. Explain.
In case you don't speak Chinese, please help your colleagues right next to you.
Two more questions from this side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Harold, we can have the last question.
Thank you, Professor Song, for such a inspiring remark and your answers. So my question is more related to the business area. So as you mentioned, regarding to the current global tension, the rule-based international order is challenged. And you also mentioned that if there is gonna be the World War III, Korean Peninsula can be maybe the first place for the war zone as a war zone. So based on your observation, due to this kind of rising uncertainties of the relationship between ROK and DPRK, do you think this is threatening for for ROK to further attract foreign investment? Because when the foreign companies want to invest in ROK, they have to worry about like uncertainties. Maybe there are going to be a war or conflict between two countries. So they have to. Do you think this is a concern based on your observation?
정정은요. So nowadays, the strong economic sanction is about 11개 정도 됐을 거예요.
네.
11 times they imposed a strong economic sanction in North Korea. All is to prohibit some exchange trade, and so it's very. So I want to seek the solution. The next month I am planning to visiting the Washington D.C. and I want to meet the Besant, the Minister of the Treasury, and so and OPEC, you know, OPEC oversee the foreign asset control. They are dealing with the economic sanction item, and so. But I strongly to ask the exemption, like the humanitarian aid or such kind of the civilian activity. Is not the defense area, so is permitted such kind of encouraging the livelihood of the ordinary people and many the children, the women, and so I can see some solution, especially owing to Iran war and the closing the Hormuz Strait and the 20% of oil the export and import system route is now closed, so it's caused a very skyrocket. The price of the oil is caused a big problem in the world economy. So recently, the United States to the shortly waiver system and the Russian oil to the delivered to India. Like this kind of a possibility, we can import from Russia the oil and LNG from Sakhalin is not passing the Strait of Hormuz and can directly to cross the import. So. I want to discuss of this solution and the United States and Besant.
Thank you.
Last question. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Oh, sorry. Jesus.
No, go ahead. Don't worry about it.
Sorry. Thank you, sir. It's an honor to meet you, Professor Song. My partner Isabel over there. We are talking about. Doing maritime security and leadership policy making this semester on our project. And so my question would be, in your opinion, what's the future policy when it comes to ROK, maritime security policy making, and what's the philosophy of leadership decision making when it comes to creating new maritime security policies?
American?
So
what's the partner? ROK policy. Which partner? In United States and ROK?
Yes.
United States?
Yeah, so basically like based on which philosophy should South Korea build relationship with the United States?
Yes.
Is that the question? Yeah.
United States. ROK situation is very, very complicated situation. As you know, we are inevitably restricted the independent the foreign policy, the strong influence under the United States. So first of all, when we have the compromise of China and Russia and North Korea, first of all we are more closely discuss with the United States, as it's inevitable. So, but I hope Mr. Trump at least some kind of possibility and a bold approach. As you know, frequently Mr. Trump confessed, I fell in love with the leader of North Korea. So very strong. It's not gay, but not homo. Very frequently they expressed how he loved him, and so and they exchanged many letters, and so recently postponed 1 month the summit conference, China and the United States. But using that opportunity, they more tried to pursue the directly talking with North Korea leader. But I think North Korea, they are strongly to dislike to China intervene the blocking this conflict. Without China helping, North Korea independently, they want to direct talk with the United States and North Korea. So I think Mr. Trump official visit to China, this time not accept North Korea. More independently visiting North Korea. So more to recently, Vladimir Putin is more influenced to North Korea leader. Now they are very closely the facto the military alliance, the North Korea and Russia. So reason why I to meet Moscow and I want to meet Vladimir Putin and more to the compromise to the waiver program on the Russian oil from to the United States and Russia, and also Russia, the Vladimir Putin more efficiently blocking to the relationship North Korea leader Kim Jong-un and Lee Jae-myung, friend of ROK. And so I want to, my mission is to, and I come back, Congressman, this year, 3 June, and we have special election. I am preparing running for Congressman. So I come back, politics, so I can more the critical role to block this country.
Thank you. He really wants to ask, so let's take one more.
Yes, oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Professor. Because you spoke about sort of South Korea's sovereignty, especially in terms of having U.S. troops here, and in the context of the NPT also having the independence. I wanted to ask in the context of technology and specifically AI, do you think that South Korea should pursue sovereign AI and sovereign tech going forward, because AI will be used significantly in sort of military capabilities? So how much do you think collaborating with the US is going to be helpful, and how much do you think South Korea should sort of go and pursue its own capabilities in artificial intelligence?
Okay, so this is kind of a different topic. The AI,
very difficult Indian pronunciation.
AI 발전에 있어서도 한국이 서버인하게 자주적으로 이제 개발을 할 수도 있겠지만 결국엔 어느 정도는 미국하고 함께 갈 수밖에 없는 측면이 있지 않습니까? AI가 저희 나라 강제는 아니잖아요. 네. 그런 측면에 있어서 어떤 방향으로 해야 발전이 되겠느냐 이제 결국 이런 질문.
As you know, the containment policy of China, they are many limited and export to the AI, HBM, many semiconductor products from the United States, South Korea, and Taiwan to China. They are sanctioned. Recently, owing to Iran war and very short, Taiwan suffer from of the shortage of the oil and energy. As you know, AI is the need more to abundant electricity energy, but if they are not fully supply chain working to Taiwan, and Taiwan know their self resources of oil, they are all depends on the import from the Middle East world, but it's prohibited. Some kind of TSMC, some have a problem. But I'm sorry, but these opportunities in South Korea have some privilege to more Samsung and SK Hynix and so. But if the contentment of the United States to China and United States inevitably collaborate with South Korea. South Korea have a capability of the rebuilding manufacturing area and the shipbuilding and atomic energy plant. It's only South Korea provide the United States without China. So we are using this opportunity more to developing the area. But for example, we are 150 billion US dollar investing Masca project, as you know, shipbuilding project in the United States. But we are Hanwha, the shipbuilding company, to the mergers and acquisition of the Philly in United States. But Philly and the capacity is very limited, and they can. The project, submarine project, atomic submarine project, were very big. Destroyer and some limitation, and the technology and the workforce and the skillful workforce is very short in United States. So in Korea and in Korea Goje Island, we are very in cluster of the shipbuilding industry, and the supply chain is well developed in the Gyeongnam province in Korea. So I suggest to the United States we can inevitably collaborate to two sides, and so if many process of the process is going on in South Korea area, but we are to export and combine and Philly. But it's to limitation of Jones Act, you know. How can we circumvent such kind of Jones Act? And so some the idea, so not really is very confidential. So, but I suggest to United States we seek the solution to this problem.
Yeah. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Have this opportunity, and if you can all line up in this side.
Can you understand how I said? No problem.